The show features 3 large-scale wooden structures acting as looms that weave together different textures, color palettes and materials to form ecological assemblages. These giant looms host devotional ceramic compositions resembling ex-votos, textile hangings acting as portals to interspecies tenderness, talismanic robes, double-sided hand-painted wallpapers, and watercolors recording telepathic exchanges. The show is a result of a collaboration with cat Arturo, whom I live with. The works are both tributes to the 4-legged divinity that he is, and distillations of the states and emotions we share. Without the burden of language, Arturo and myself communicate directly through the tones and rhythms of his mewing and purring, the twitching of his tail, and most specifically through lengthy sessions of intense eye contact, where we blink in slow motion. At times I feel we merge into one, a semi-liquid, warm, profoundly reassuring state. As a child, my grandmother used to beat egg yolks with sugar and give it to me as a snack. This is a traditional Italian dessert called zabaione. That is how we are together. We are zabaione. The title of the show derives from a dream I had in which Arturo multiplied. The many Arturos were floating in a sea, floating in an incredible mass of vertical water that interlocked and flowed like Baroque scenography. Hues that ranged from turquoise to deep ultramarine were stacked and layered like a section of an imaginary geological formation. Sometimes we lie together in bed, and I place my hand under his paw. As we fall asleep, our minds synchronize, and I receive blasts of color that feel like electrical impulses. As soon as I reawake, I paint these messages immediately. I always keep a notebook and watercolor beside my bed. The emotions that flow between us are gathered in several stacked papier-mâchés, which are resting on a live-edge wooden shelf, realized in collaboration with designer Mark Thurgood. I use distilling processes that are employed in vibrational medicine to capture in water the vibrations of Arturo's purring, his joy, our shared affection. I then soak various types of paper in the charged water and add further ingredients. Making Kin is a portrait of our shared daily textures and pays homage to the book Staying with the Trouble, Making Kin in the Thulucene by multi-species feminist theorist Donna J. Haraway. In the context of climate change, Haraway offers new perspectives on how we could reconfigure our relations to the Earth and all of its inhabitants. Making kin refers to the act of cultivating connections with the other souls, animals, plants and microbes with whom we share the planet. The papier-mâchés both represent Arturo and the things he enjoys the most, like crackers and tissue paper, but also constituted from his detritus. Interfacing fabric, crepe paper, screen print from 2005, CBDT, distilled joy, my pajamas, 90s photos, newspaper, natural pigments, distilled affection, Arturo's hair, cork, commercial and screen printed wallpaper, household paint, caddy cotton rag paper, Toupret, plaster, The Economist, Arturo's purring, wallpaper paste and PVA glue on board. These are some of the ingredients present in my pulps, which I keep a record of, or rather a palette which identifies them. Arturo's fur is also present in the textile works, including the Wavy Hangings series titled Portals. These portals are inspired by modernist science fiction depictions of gateways into hyperspeed travel and alternate dimensions. Every evening I brush Arturo, a routine that takes place on his Ottoman poof around 11 p.m. Portal 23 also incorporates old magnetic cassette, VHS tape, and fragments of a scarf I knitted 20 years ago that Arturo used to sleep on. Magnetic tape is a recurring material in my work, which has come to represent interdimensional communication. It stems from personal memories of my mother hosting seances that she would record and listen back to. In 2016, I began making wearable textile artworks. These dream robes serve as catalysts for the creative process within my nighttime dreams. That is to say, they both instigate artistic tasks in the dream state and remind me to document this immediately in the morning. This is a process borrowed from the Jungian therapy I underwent during adolescence, using dreams as a tool for personal expansion and a depository for unconscious internal dialogue. My therapist at the time asked me to keep a dream diary. As my dreams become increasingly articulate, I could control their narrative with the ability to fly and design the landscape. Dream Robe 2 was made specifically as a talisman in an attempt to bridge my nocturnal excursions with Arturo's. Beyond the surface of what may seem whimsical, fantastical, or even deluded, in attempting to develop mechanisms that search for mutual pre-linguistic spaces, we transcend semantics built for a human-centric agenda and tap into a more non-human-centric universal perspective.